Welcome back to Fox and Friends. More and more Hispanic voters are embracing conservative candidates. One recent report shows a stunned media reaction wondering if this can really shift the electoral dynamic. Joining us now, GOP candidate for Florida House of Representatives, Carolina Amesty. Nice to see you this morning. Thanks for joining me. So you're saying that Hispanic voters are finally connecting their values, faith, family, all of those things, entrepreneurship and personal responsibility with their vote.
That's right. Hispanics, they really understand that we're not part of this woke culture, radical left environment. They actually fled their country, most of them, to come to America to live the American dream. So we're seeing more Hispanics turn to the Republican Party because it's the only party here in America that really supports the American dream.
Yeah, so you're of Venezuelan descent. Hispanics seem to understand on a very recent level, it's not ancient history for them, what the effects of socialism and centralized government and corruption are in their own countries, correct?
That's right. We saw it in Venezuela. We saw it in Cuba, even Mexico right now. I mean, these countries are full of corruption. The radical left took over. There's a centralized government, and there really isn't a middle class. And that's why here in America, we must preserve the American dream.
You're in Florida. Your primary is on Tuesday. It's very interesting. You know, Venezuelans, Cubans very intimately know the dangers of socialism and dictatorships and as we mentioned, corruption. But what's interesting is what we're seeing over in the Southwest. Mexicans, which, by the way, are about 60% of all Hispanics. They used to be real stalwart Democrat voters, but there's a shift there, too. Why do you think it's happening with Mexican-American voters?
Yes, I mean, we can see that the Mexican community is one full of faith, God, faith, family, freedom, and they're understanding that the Democrats are pretty much taking our faith away, our religious freedoms, or taking our Christian principles away, and that's why we're seeing that there's a big shift in the Mexican-American community here in the United States.
So what percentage do you think is the economic component? Because obviously Hispanics are being hurt very bad through inflation and so many things that are happening economically. But then the things like your kids coming home with trans ideology in school. I mean, how do you see that balance? Like what's impacting more in your opinion?
So I would see a 60-40%, so 40% being focused on religious freedom and then conservative principles, Christian principles, faith, family, freedom. And then the other 60% is the economy. I mean, we saw now that Joe Biden just hired 80,000 plus IRS agents, and his response is, oh, they're not going to affect the Hispanic community because the Hispanic community is not capable of making over $300,000 a year. This is really a threat. It's at risk. The middle class is at risk, and the Hispanic community, they understand that the Democrats want to destroy America.
Yeah, the Hispanic community is very aspirational, and this kind of message of dependency and this normalizing this kind of economy does not sit well with them. We're excited to see what happens to you on Tuesday. Last word to the Democrats who you say are in denial?
Yes, so I truly understand, as a Venezuelan American, I understand that the radical left wants to destroy our country. We saw it in Venezuela. It's the same playbook. America needs to wake up. Venezuela was destroyed because of the radical left, a centralized government that took over, created more departments, created more IRS agents, per se, and they really destroyed the country. We need to fight the radical left, and we need to come back into the American dream. This is a great country, a country of opportunity. We must preserve it.
Yeah, Carolina, I still remember when Bernie Sanders said the American dream was more likely to be found in Caracas, Venezuela. He sure is eating those words right now and trying to turn us into Caracas. Carolina,
unbelievable.
Yep, thanks for joining us. We wish you luck in your race on Tuesday.
Thank you so much, Rachel.